What's up, everybody? It is episode 9 of the Weekly Pour. I am TBT. That guy is Ace.
Hey, everybody.
What is going on? It's a day late than what we usually record, which I guess nobody really notices because we're not live. So when we upload this, it'll be there. But weather and all kinds of stuff have changed things for us this week, so we are a day behind. But nonetheless, we are still here. So cheers.
What are you drinking there since you're having a weekly pour?
Mm, I'm glad you asked. This week, or actually tonight, Old Forester single barrel, a 90 proof. Let me put on the spectacles. This is a distillery edition from 2020, Old Forester. It is a 90 proof single barrel, and it is really good. So that's why I'm drinking it. And plus, the more I drink, the more I will say. And I may say something that I will regret tomorrow, but we'll worry about that tomorrow.
Yeah, wish
Something
I
like that.
had some,
Yeah.
wish I had some of that, but it's probably too expensive for me.
It's like $30 or $40. It's not too bad. So lots of stuff going on in the news this week in regards to music. I mean, not just music, but everywhere. All kinds of stuff coming up. I know that we're excited about. A couple things that just I'm excited about, from being a fan of certain things, which we'll get into later. Um, this is episode 9. Episode 10 will be next week, and we're still working on getting that special guest for episode 10. If we get it, great. If not, then maybe it'll be 11, 12, or 23. I don't know, but nonetheless, there's a good possibility that if you join our YouTube channel next week, we may end up going live and doing our broadcast live for episode 10 because it's our 10-year anniversary of doing this. 10 years.
It just feels that
It,
way.
it just feels that way, exactly. I'm going to let you get straight into the news or whatever you want to jump into.
Well, I think we ought to mention the Steven Tyler news. Uh, that
Huge.
it is huge, and it was kind of surprising, really. I guess you should never be surprised when someone has a an addiction, but as far as I know, all those guys have been sober for a long, long time.
Well, that's what I thought. And I read a little bit. I think you've read quite a bit more about this than I have, but something he had surgery and then of course was given pain pills for pain following the surgery, and that led to having to go back to rehab. I mean, was there more to it?
That's what I've read. I haven't read anything in the last day or so, but that's what I read. And
Wow.
yeah, and it's really crazy because if you think about it, that could happen to any addict. Oh, I got to have surgery, and I mean, what do you do?
Exactly. And it was this. I don't know what his addiction was. I'm gonna guess it was an opioid.
All of it.
Um, Yeah. I was expecting when I first read it, I was like, "Oh, it's just gonna be alcohol." That he went on a bender and he started drinking some Old Forester and that got him back into it. But I mean, an opioid. So here's my question. You're the doctor, and you know that I have this addiction that that I've dealt with in the past, and you're gonna still give me these opioids. And I mean, that I'm going to probably get addicted to this, and lo and behold, I'm addicted again. I mean, how do you? Where does the fault lie with the doctor for not paying attention to maybe give him some non-opioid drugs, or is it on Steven Tyler to just say, "Hey, I'll deal with the pain. I'm not going to take anything." I mean, where do you draw the line, and who gets that responsibility?
I think that is going to fall on the doctor as far as prescribing the right pain medication that he thinks will work. But the problem is, uh, I think you'll have to have something stronger than Tylenol at first.
Oh, sure.
Plus, uh, I well, they wouldn't give you anything before post-op, I don't think, other than anesthetic. But uh, I think it would lie on the doctor, and I'm sure Stephen laid it all out for him. What he's been addicted to in the past, and I mean it's well publicized, unless the doctor's under a rock. And
Yeah, it's
you know
not like this is something new that popped up.
exactly. It's unfortunate. It really is. Um, but and maybe it's a no-win situation where the doctor says, "Well, yeah, I've got to give you something, and no matter what it is, it's going to be a problem."
Now, with this happening, they had to cancel their stuff in Vegas, right? Was it the whole thing or just like a few shows or
It was 8 shows, is what I saw. I
okay.
I didn't see how many they had left, but that would probably be all of them. you know,
Residency. That's what I was trying to think of was the Vegas residency that they were doing.
right? The one that Joey Kramer couldn't get to.
Right.
We haven't mentioned him in a while, so
No, so there's our Joey Kramer mention. A Vegas residency, it's Aerosmith of all bands. You would expect that every show, I would think they would be sold out. So there's a potential to really be losing a lot of money in this.
oh, definitely. Tickets for that are probably pretty expensive. Um, I'm sure they're all sold out. You and I talked about this earlier. Um, my guess is that they lost a substantial amount of money. I don't know how bad they need money, but whenever you lose money in the millions, it's going to hurt more than just the band, the crew. It's going to hurt the venue. It's going to hurt everybody.
Okay, so I just Googled this because I was curious. Aerosmith's residency um, tickets, 2022 Aerosmith concert tour. I'm trying to look and see if this was actually in Vegas. Okay, it's Vegas. So the cheapest ticket that I can find, and I'm on SeatGeek just because that's what popped up. Cheapest ticket, $76. Most expensive ticket, $562. So that's on SeatGeek, which people are trying to sell their tickets. But as far as like, I don't know, MGM or I don't even know where they were going to be. I know that the show was going to be like the Deuces Are Wild show or something like that. Those tickets, I'm on that site right now. Those tickets were starting at $75. But of course, they have all kinds of add-ons, a VIP package, stuff like that. So the potential, oh my gosh, the potential was to lose a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, times that by 8 shows, and some of them on aftermarket sites may even go for more. Uh, I'm surprised that 76 is the least amount.
All right, so there's three packages to choose from: the elevated package, the premier package, and the VIP package. The VIP package is $2,500 after subtotal, and that's for a 2-night stay. So I think this is including a suite at the Bellagio, MGM Grand, whatever they want to call it. So there's potential for not just Aerosmith to make money, but for MGM, the Bellagio, basically everybody, promoters, you name it, everybody's losing out on this. And I didn't count to see how many dates there were, but still 8. Let's say you make, I don't know, and this could be way off base, but if you make 10 grand a show, I mean 8 shows, that's almost $100,000. That's 80 grand.
Right,
That's a significant freaking amount of money that
right.
I would not be happy with losing.
No, and ultimately though, they've got to get Steven Tyler healthy. Uh, then after that, maybe they can reschedule some of these. Um, I don't know if they refunded tickets. They may have told people just to hang on to them. Uh,
Um, I want to say I saw something where they were refunding.
okay,
So usually, and you know this too, and when you get a refund, that means they're not expected back.
Right.
A lot of times.
I think a lot of people learned lessons though from the pandemic when
Right.
tickets were being held uh, just because they thought they might tour again. I don't know if anyone got their Ozzy Osbourne tickets back.
Oh, good call.
Um, they were hanging on to those for a very long time, and there's no foreseeable, tour in sight for Ozzy. Now, yeah, of course he's already talked about having surgery for his neck, saying he's having trouble with a lot of spinal issues, his back, things like that. Can't walk as well. So, hopefully those tickets have been refunded. Um, I think it's the fair thing to do to the fans because you can come back,
Absolutely.
and if you want to buy tickets again, you can buy tickets again.
Yeah, I feel bad for Steven Tyler. It's funny. We I think we were just talking about him last week when we were talking about the list of the top 40 singers.
Mhm.
And we were talking about Steven Tyler, and you see him on TV. He did American Idol, I guess it was. He did American Idol for a season or two or three, I don't know.
Mhm.
And you're like, hey, Steven Tyler's not a bad guy, and because you kind of get to, I guess you kind of get like a personal side of how he is, and then all of a sudden, you got something like this, and it's like, damn, who do you blame? It kind of goes back to why did we do this? You knew he knew he was going to have surgery, whatever, you know, was the doctor to blame? I see that just irritates me because, like you pointed out, he laid it out there. Steven Tyler isn't Joe Blow off the street where they don't know any of his background, or it's not like you can't Google you know Steven Tyler drugs,
Right.
alcohol, anything like that, and you're gonna get a lot of hits because there's probably a lot of stuff out there.
Sure. And hell, the doctor may have listened to Aerosmith when he was in med school.
Yeah, or during surgery.
During surgery. Who knows?
Yeah.
Um, you- and it's hard to call blame, um, in something like this. I mean, you can lay out a medical plan, but everyone's best laid plans, you know, sometimes are set up just to fail anyway. And
Oh, sure.
I think I'm sure everyone knew the risk going into this, and here we are.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yep. Uh, this is something I just read. It says that the band said they will now start the residency in September and will let fans know any further updates as soon as we can. So it looks like they're still trying to move forward, which is good because, I mean, good grief. Everybody goes to Vegas, and it's almost like once they get done with that residency, it's like you don't hear a lot from them anymore, unless they're Britney and she's posing topless on Instagram, something like that. But the Stones, they did a residency. Um, I mean, there's been a number of them that do, just because it's Vegas, number one, and people going out there for vacation, they're gonna go see these shows because they can say,
Sure.
not only did I go to Vegas and I gambled and I stayed at the Bellagio or whatever, but I got to see Aerosmith, or I got to see this band or that band,
Uh,
whatever.
Celine Dion did
Uh,
one, more
right,
than one, I think, and those were really, really popular.
right,
Um, and shoot, a lot of those guys, the rock stars, live in Vegas
yeah,
uh, currently. So putting something together probably isn't that hard.
no,
You know, I don't know where Aerosmith lives, but if they lived in Vegas, I mean, man, think of the convenience there.
yeah. Where's Rehab? Is Rehab in Vegas?
Right, it's down the road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's did we run to California? Are we staying in Vegas? What's the name of that fine ladies establishment in
Oh,
Vegas?
um, well, I've never been to one, but you talking about the there's the Bunny Ranch or
Is that what it is?
something like that.
Yeah, there was something. I don't. It might have been like on. on MTV or something back in the day. I don't remember, but yeah, there was something. Is that where rehab's at?
Right next to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other sad part about this is that we had Steven Tyler lined up for an interview, and unfortunately, he's not going to be able to make it because he's in rehab,
That
which
always
is
happens.
totally not true. But
No,
we can use that because nobody can say that it's not true because they can't reach out to him for comment. Um, but
the go ahead.
no, no, please.
Uh, what I was just thinking though, at least this is not a situation where the band Aerosmith is trying to prod Steven Tyler along by replacing him. You remember when they auditioned? How many people a few years ago? Like Rob Halford was there.
Yeah.
I can't remember who all was there, but it was everybody. It was a who's who of singers, just trying to poke the bear a little bit and see what Steven will react to. This is not like that, thankfully.
No, and if you really think about it, who can replace Steven Tyler?
Axl Rose.
Okay, that might have worked for AC/DC,
Right.
but I just, for Aerosmith, I don't know.
No.
But regardless, I know we wish Steven Tyler the best and hope he's able to, to get out of this because, he's one of those bands that, that we like and pay attention to. And, I don't want to see
Well,
nothing happen to him. And he's got hot daughters.
right. Well, and they're all getting older, and these bands we've talked about before, we'd like to see them one more
Yep.
time, or if you've never seen them, get out there and see them
Yeah.
because it's not going to last forever. He's 74,
Yeah, I know.
so it's not lasting forever.
No, you talking about bands that, we get out and see before they're gone. I've seen Kiss a couple times, and I found myself 5 times. Nice. I find myself yesterday, I think it was on YouTube. I think I mentioned this to you at work today. I'm going through and just watching all kinds of like nostalgia videos and acoustic stuff and
Right.
just stuff that's not on an album, or at least the performance isn't.
Ah,
And look at you falling over. And one of the things that I find was just a simple, hour long sound check. Might not even been an hour, 30 minutes. Sound check of Kiss.
yeah, is that the one I sent you?
Was that the one where Gene was in his robe?
Yes.
Yeah. But you know what? As funny as that is, it's really not because it's Gene Simmons, and that's something that's totally expected. But just listening to that sound check was just raw. It was cool. It was great to
What?
see them acting like they were playing and lip syncing everything.
But did you see how, honestly though, did you see how much fun Paul Stanley was having just
Yeah,
play? He was having a
yeah.
lot of fun. I like that.
It,
And
it was like he wasn't in makeup. He wasn't. It's almost like he wasn't performing because I think this was a fan shot thing, and when the fan turned, there maybe 40 people.
right, because that would be the VIP package, I think. I think if you pay $3,000,
Right.
you get that as part of the package, the
But
sound
that's
check.
not very many people. So I mean, but you're right. He was out there having a blast,
He was. It
talking
didn't matter.
smack and thanking the fans. Of course, they're going to do that anyway. But he's just out there, just shooting the shit, really, and just having fun with everybody.
Right. I like that. It's he's always talked about when they were younger, of course, starting out. They always acted like if there were two people in the state or the bar that they were playing at, they played like it was 1,000 or 10,000.
Sure.
It was kind of like that. He was very informal too, and that was nice.
Yeah, it was. Not even in costume, not costume, not makeup,
Nope.
nothing. And to hear him make fun of himself, with the whole rumors about them lip syncing and
Right.
not
Right.
playing their music, they were out there jamming.
Right. And Gene, he sang a couple tunes, and he sounds like Gene. He sounds good. Of course, he's not been accused of doing any of that, but
Right.
um, Paul is the one that struggles, and he struggled in the sound check, but
Well,
he
it's
did.
the other way around with Gene. I think people want him to lip sync. But I mean, they played Plaster Caster.
Yeah,
which I absolutely love that song, and I love the story behind it. But
right.
to play that at sound check, that's one of those songs you just rarely hear, on a live performance in front of the crowd.
Yeah, and you heard the fans screaming out, songs. He was asking, well, what do you want to hear? And they're all throwing things out there
Yeah.
because they know they're going to get kind of a hit show during the concert. So this is an opportunity to hear something different.
Well, that's why the one girl that shouted out Detroit Rock City, she was ignored
Right.
because that's going to
You
get played
know,
during the show.
we're going to play that. You know that.
Yeah, that's a given. Um,
Rock and roll all night. What?
Stop, lady. I would have thrown out some stuff off of Hot in the Shade because they don't play a whole lot of that stuff, or even Psycho Circus.
Yeah.
Because none of those were like the big hits or anything, except for God Gave Rock and Roll to You, and that's kind of like one of those anthems that they can end the show with, or or come in the middle, after a guitar solo, and then you know throw that out there, something like that. But yeah, it was a little nostalgic, watching some old stuff, and I went even further. I was looking up like Tears for Fears and Duran Duran, but I didn't want performances from back in the 80s. I was looking for stuff more recent, I'd say from about 2010 to where we're at now. So the last 10, 12 years, and just pulling up things like, Aha, or, all these poppy bands that I tell you what, it impresses me. And I didn't listen to this genre very much, but I did because it was top 40 radio and everybody listened to Casey Kasem.
Oh,
But
yeah.
to hear Tears for Fear, Tears
Tears.
for Fears.
Tears for Fears.
Okay, I was right the first time. Um, they almost sound as good now, or within the last 10 years, as they
Yeah.
did back in like 86, 85.
Yeah, and it's fun when I go down little rabbit holes like that. That's what I want to see. I want to see what they sound like now, what they sound like live. And sometimes it's almost as good. Sometimes it is. You're kind of surprised.
Yeah,
Duran, I think, just put out a record. Believe it or
yeah,
not,
that's
not very long ago.
insane. That's
Uh,
insane.
I didn't know they were still doing anything, and it popped up on my Apple Music or something, and I'm like, oh wow,
Where did this come from?
yeah, exactly. That's kind of cool. They're still doing something.
Um, well, let's see. I was taking notes earlier too, and obviously, um, Steven Tyler was actually not at the top of my list. He was number two. Um, the number
So
one, the number one thing I had on my list, and I had one earlier. I don't know what I did with it, but apparently I didn't learn very well. But there's an instructional video out by Bret Michaels uh, that
I saw this and I didn't watch it, but I
I
saw it.
did. I
Did
had to
you?
watch it.
Why are you
He
wearing a headband tonight?
he will teach you how to properly fold a Bret Michaels bandana, any bandana, but specifically for to wear like Bret Michaels, and I no, I just no. I don't need that coming across my news timeline, of how to fold like Bret Michaels. So that was number one on the list, and I am very, very happily scratching that off.
You've got to commend him for his. It's Brett Michaels of Poison for anyone that needs to know,
Whoever doesn't know who the hell that is.
but you've got to commend him for sticking with a style for so long. He has wore that headband since what Flesh and Blood. I remember that those videos were the first ones I remember seeing him. Was it before
No,
that?
open up and say, "Oh."
Really?
I don't remember which video it was, but when Metal Edge would come out and they'd have all the posters and stuff inside.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he was wearing that in a couple of those.
And I always assumed it. Well, at first I thought it was a style thing, and then I always later assumed that it was a receding hairline thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably looks like this underneath it.
Yeah, but I'll never understand though. Maybe it's because they don't want to mess with it, but they've got the money. Go fix your hair. You can,
Go
you
get
know,
plugs.
get plugs, get hair replacement, whatever. You can do a lot of things when you have a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I don't,
if you don't want to go and worry about hair plugs, just Google Bret Michaels bandana folding. and learn how to fold your bandana like Brad Michaels of Poison.
He probably sells the bandana that folds itself with the logo on it or something, you know.
Oh yeah, it's got the big BM on there, so you can either walk around with bowel movement or Brett Michaels or however you want to do it. I don't know if you saw this, but I wish I'm sure we would be copyright flagged and somebody would yell at us for having it on there. But I think it was May 24th, which well, that would have been yesterday. So I think it was yesterday that Metallica played at their eighth annual Metallica night
Okay.
in San Francisco.
Yeah, I
And
just pulled it up right here.
every time they have that, they play James and Kirk play the national anthem. Had it not been for copyright infringement, I probably would have played it to kick off this episode because I mean it's great. It seems like it. I know it's the same thing they do every year, but I mean the national anthem does not change.
Is there vocal to it? Because
No,
I there's no yeah.
no,
No.
it's not like and the Rockets red glare. There's nothing,
Oh man.
which is a little disappointing. But no, it's strictly instrumental. If you've got it pulled up, when we're done with this episode, listen to it.
Okay.
Gosh, it's just so good. And you know, James plays, guitar like crazy anyway. And then him and Kirk, I mean, they're in rhythm, they're hitting the same chords and I mean they're just rocking it out and it's really good. And I think that's part of why they have, San Francisco does the Metallica night. I think they've done it for the Giants, in baseball. And would that be San Jose Sharks? I think maybe for
Hockey.
hockey, yeah. But yeah, because San Francisco doesn't have a hockey team. So, and I don't think the 49ers have done it, and I wouldn't give a shit because I hate the 49ers. So I wouldn't care. I wouldn't like them for one night, even if they did 49ers Metallica night. It doesn't matter. But check it
Negative.
out. Do what?
Negative does that one.
Yeah, probably.
What else you got?
Uh, this is the last thing I have on my list
All right.
because well, it's really not, but I did not know this. And if you were reading your news sources from this or reading the same news source that I was, Whitesnake was in the news, and apparently my dog was too. Whitesnake was in the news, and during an interview with David Coverdale, he let out that their song "Is This Love," which, if you're a Whitesnake fan, 80s metal fan, hair band, glam metal, whatever, you know that song. "Is This Love" was originally written for Tina Turner.
I didn't know that.
So
I love
Tina
stuff.
Tina Turner had what she sing? What's Love Got to Do with It?
Right.
And this was like a step from that. What's love got to do with it? Oh wait, is this love? And it was written for Tina Turner.
Ooh.
So
It's a concept record.
right, exactly. It's Bat Out of Hell. We're back to Meatloaf and these concept things. I think I think they took the song or the entire record or whatever to Enigma. Back in the day when Enigma was like doing all the rock bands, and Enigma said, "Oh yeah, that's a great song," and Coverdale was like, "Yeah, that's for Tina Turner," and Enigma was like, No, this is like one of the only songs we have."
Oh wow.
So they kept it, and I don't know if they made them, but they said, "Nope, you're recording this. It's not going to Tina Turner."
Oh wow.
So Whitesnake records it, and it becomes one of their all-time best songs, or at least most recognizable songs that Whitesnake's done.
It's a great song, and I'm not sure. I think I could hear her singing that. I think I could.
I could too. I wish I had like um, a voice changer,
Yeah.
that was programmed to Tina Turner.
I'm
Um,
looking up.
I'm looking for one.
That was on. That was on Private Dancer, right?
Ooh, hers
Well,
or no? You talking
what?
about Is This Love
No, what's love got to do
or
with it?
what? Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there.
Yeah.
Holly Knight. That's who it was. Holly Knight. I heard an interview with her.
Okay.
Uh, Eddie Trunk did an interview with her about a year ago, talking about people that she's worked with. And man, I wish I could remember some of the stories. But she wrote, uh, yeah, "Better Be Good to Me" for Tina Turner for that record. And I think there was some stuff here that was supposed to go other places that ended up on that record for Tina Turner. Uh, Man, I need to do some research on this before I talk. But there was a lot going on in that interview. But Holly Knight has wrote for everybody,
Right.
um, and I think that was going somewhere else. And she wrote "Hide Your Heart" with Paul Stanley. Uh, yeah, she wrote that one with
That
him.
was on, wasn't that on Hot in
Hot
the
and Shade.
Shade?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
and
kidding.
right. Uh, and Ace Frehley covered that, and then someone else, like three or four people. Oh, it was like Steppenwolf or somebody, one of those older bands covered it.
No
I have,
kidding.
yeah, I've not listened to that version yet, but
Me neither. But now I've got something to look forward to.
it was Steppenwolf or Golden Earring or someone like that. I'll have to look it up. But I actually the Kiss version's good, and it's kind of slick. I like the Ace Frehley version a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
that song.
very it's produced.
Yeah, well, I like the raw sound of it too.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm saying the Kiss version is more
Yeah, very
more
slick,
yeah.
very over. Well, not overproduced, but produced.
Yeah, very produced. But it's still good. I see I love that album.
Do
From
you?
yeah, I do. Hot in the Shade, Revenge, Psycho Circus, um, all of those. I loved all of those.
Revenge gets a lot of love, but I've recently realized I listened to a lot of stuff, and uh, Chris Jericho again was on with some other people and Eddie Trunk discussing '80s Kiss and where they rank these records. Revenge being included because it's non-makeup,
Sure.
so it had to be non-makeup. So Creatures of the Night didn't count.
Okay.
So they're ranking them, and Revenge was getting a lot of love,
Right.
except from Eddie, who thought it was a bit overrated, and that surprised me because I too rate that record really high. But then I got to thinking, you know what? I never listened to it. I never ever when I listened to Kiss ever listened to that record. I don't know why.
I listened to one song.
Unholy.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Because I mean, it's just a rocking song, and to me, that was like the epitome of Gene Simmons getting involved and really diving into a song. And I like the hook. I
Uh,
mean,
right. Well, what I liked about it too is when you heard it. Of course, the riff is killer.
yeah,
Um, there was debate on that too with who actually plays that. Uh, Kulik, Vinnie Vincent, who helped write some of the songs. But regardless, uh, what I liked about it was Gene Simmons was kind of back,
mhm.
like you knew he was there, present, cognizant in the record, and that's one reason that record is really good.
See,
I
to
think.
me, it was very Zach Wildish.
Oh yeah,
I mean, granted, this is a whole different timeline, but it just had very much of that Zach Wild crunch.
hmm
That just that grr, grr, and I liked it. I liked it a lot.
yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
I think the one I listened to the most forever was Asylum. If it was an '80s
Okay.
non-makeup Kiss record, a ton of Asylum and a ton of Lick It Up. Lick It Up is just stellar.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you cannot overplay that.
Yeah, that whole record. I could go on about the '80s Kiss forever, but
Oh, for sure.
you know, I don't know that there's a bad one in the bunch. I love Crazy Nights, and
Hmm.
people cut up on that one a little bit. Um, a little keyboardy, little poppy, that sort of thing. But overall,
Okay,
that's
Van Halen did the same thing.
who hasn't?
Yeah.
Who hasn't?
But yet they're gonna sing along to the final countdown, playing by Europe, because it's
Yeah,
got it's got killer keyboards. Okay, Bon Jovi's got keyboards. Winger has keyboard. I mean, what? Who doesn't? You're right. Who doesn't?
yeah. That was the thing that I didn't always understand when people would jump off of a band when the keyboards come in.
Yeah.
I get worried. I heard some keyboards, but sometimes they enhance the song, especially if you don't go over the top with it. If you've never used them and then all of a sudden you're just all over the place,
Yeah.
uh,
I mean,
I think
do you think that Cinderella made Long Cold Winter with a full size piano?
oh
No, I'm
uh,
pretty sure it was a keyboard. You know,
yeah,
and there's people that
well,
say that was just an absolutely, classic album, and Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone was, the best song ever. Well, what's it start off with? Uh,
it's got a big piano in it.
yeah. What about Home Sweet Home?
Oh yeah, and that's a great little piano riff.
Yeah. But
Exactly.
yeah, so screw you, keyboard haters.
It's okay to have a little bit in there. I like it more in the background as an enhancement
Sure.
to fill in some gaps, especially if you got one guitar player. Uh, a keyboard is real handy for
Yeah.
things. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, even someone like Warrant, two guitar players, they still had some keyboard.
Sure,
I Saw Red off of Cherry Pie,
good song.
Oh, phenomenal song. The acoustic version, thousand times better.
Really.
Yes. And I don't know if that was Warrant acoustic. It could just be Janie Lane acoustic, but thousand times better. It's just I
Uh,
like acoustic things, and you hear your bands when they jam these songs, but then this is just one of those that I think is better as an acoustic song.
I remember the acoustic trend when it came along with Tesla. I was in college,
Yeah.
and oh my gosh, we were just waiting on everyone to stop jumping on that bad bandwagon. Just everybody was doing it.
Yeah. Well, MTV didn't help.
No, not when you dedicate a whole show. Well, yeah, we're all going to come on and do that.
Yeah, because number one, we're going to make money, and number two, unfortunately, you're going to hear just how bad we sound
Right.
because some people had no business being on Unplugged.
You're right. I realized real quick how bad some bands' backup vocals were because their backup vocals were the other guys in the band. They were not very good.
Uh-uh.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the how they made the Kiss one? The Kiss Unplugged.
Oh, I don't remember it. I probably have, but
I didn't know that's how they did this, but there was so many starts and stops. If someone breaks a string, we stop production and get another guitar. Uh, if someone forgets a lyric, we stop. It's like filming a TV show, literally.
sure.
And,
Line, please.
right,
Line.
and I never thought it was like that because when you watch it, it's just seamless.
Well,
It's
you
like
don't see that at a concert. Somebody
no,
breaks it. They'll toss their guitar.
right. So my assumption,
And somebody will throw another one at them.
yeah, my assumption was they just kind of filmed it live on tape. And that's what you got. But no, it was really, really produced, and that audience was there the whole time, like 3 hours of them starting, stopping, picking this up, changing that, whatever they had to do. It was interesting to me.
I'd still sit 3 hours and just listen to, Kiss play acoustic,
Oh, certainly, certainly, especially,
and Gene's bathroom breaks or whatever there was. I
yeah.
don't know. Um, Last thing I had on my list, I thought that was the last thing with the Tina Turner thing, but this is where I'm totally going to take a 180 away from music. Um, you can't tell by anything in the background of where I'm at. I don't have anything like, on my walls, but I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
you and I are mutual friends with another person who is a huge Star Wars fan. And we are very excited for this Friday because the first two episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi drop on Disney Plus. I've been looking forward for this for a number of years because I want to say that this was announced back in like 2019. COVID, lockdowns, all that BS happened, and it just never got recorded, never got, made, never got done. But it is now, and we get Obi-Wan Kenobi this Friday. Um, Excited about it. Now, this is set somewhere after episode three, which was Revenge of the Sith. So this is between that and A New Hope. which was the original 1977 Star Wars, even though it was the fourth episode. See, it's also freaking confusing. But this is when Luke is still a little kid and Obi-Wan Kenobi is on the same planet, keeping an eye on him. There's going to be some new characters that people probably are not familiar with unless you were like really in with the comic books. The Grand Inquisitor, somebody like that. And you're going to be like, well, who is that? You'll find out on Friday, probably. Um, the biggest thing for me is that Darth Vader is in it.
Right, and I hope he's in it for the fans' sake a little bit more than he is in a lot of things, because they just parcel him out in little snippets. You get a little Darth Vader, and we all know it's like Boba Fett. We all want a lot of Darth Vader.
Yeah. But, the more I think about it, though, I don't know how you would do a Darth Vader series. Like,
It
he's in
would
a
be a lot of
suit.
this.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
That'd be
joking.
great.
But, like, do you follow him when does he cook for himself? I
Surely
mean,
not.
does he have like little stormtroopers that cook for him? He can't live outside the suit. He's got to be in the bath. And I mean, so I don't know, but you're absolutely right. The movies that have came out recently, little snippets of Darth Vader.
You're describing a reality show.
Oh yeah. Well, Darth Vader, reality. Celebrity apprentice. Darth Vader style.
Darth
But
Vader's.
yeah. Uh, but yeah, I'd like to see more of Vader, and I have no idea how much he's going to be in this episode or in this series. There's only 6 episodes, and we get the first two on Friday. So, does that mean I don't know? Is he going to be in the following four? Maybe just a snippet of I'm trying to find Obi-Wan,
Right.
or what? So I don't know. I hope it's going to be more than a snippet because they've basically said that Vader and Obi-Wan will fight again, which I'm hoping is just, you know, every fan's been wanting to see Vader and Obi-Wan fight. The only time that we ever got to see that was in the 1977 original Star Wars.
Right.
And that was, in the Death was that in the Death Star?
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And, Vader's classic line, and I'm going to screw it up, but I don't really care. The last time, he says, you were the master and, I was the apprentice, but now, bitch, I'm taking you out. He said it exactly like that. Um, but you're like, oh, okay, where's the rest of the history? We know the history from watching episodes 1, 2, and 3, but we don't know what happened between 3 and 4 in regards to what we're going to find out with the new Obi-Wan series, hopefully. But yeah, I agree with you. I want the Darth Vader miniseries. I want the reality show of him being lonely. He's got a little dog it's a little
It's a
um
Yorkie
it's a Yorkie. Um
named Ewok.
yes. Oh, hang on. Um I had a joke that I told that I kind of made up on myself, and hopefully, if anybody listens to this, they spread this out and somebody else takes this joke, and then I'll know that they're stealing our crap. Stop stealing our shit, by the way.
Yeah. Stop.
Um, the joke. Hang on. Um, you know what? I don't remember what it was. I just put myself on the spot to remember this joke, and I can't. So it was something to do with Star Wars, and then Chewbacca. Oh, he liked to go fishing with the Ewoks, and every time he went fishing, he'd catch them and they would immediately eat them because Ewoks and Wookiees, they don't need to cook their food. They just get the fish and they eat it, and um, it was amazing, and they thought it was the best food ever, and nobody could ever really figure out why. And I figured out why. I think it's the endorphins.
The endorphins.
Yeah, because the Ewoks lived on Endor, and they were eating the fins, the fish fins, the indoor fins.
Ah,
All right. That was like the worst dad joke of the day. Actually, it's not the worst dad joke of the day. I'm going to give you the the worst joke of the day, and I'm hoping nobody else has heard this. Please, somebody steal this. Somebody use it. Please do not credit me because I stole it off the interwebs. But the Beastie Boys, they are releasing a five-part anthology,
5 parts?
a five
Five
part,
parts?
yeah, five farts, five-part anthology. Parts A through D, so A, B, C, and D are going to be absolutely free. But you'll have to fight for your right for part E.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Thanks. I appreciate that. You're 100% right. So from bad joke to not a sponsor, I told you I was going to do this last week, so I'm doing it this week. I'm gonna pull you out of here real quick. I'm gonna do this number here. Just this is just so I can get the rest of them in here.
Oh, sure, sure.
So, but you can still talk and we can hear you. I've only
I'll,
got like two freaking hands, and I don't have anything to set these on. So
ooh, I like that.
anyway, oh, it's badass. Look, I'm gonna get up closer. Look, 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 look. All right.
That's cool.
Yeah, Bad Company Barbecue. I have plugged them on this show since episode one. Until Jason tells me to not plug them, I will continue until he says to stop. BadCompanyBarbecue.com. Bad Company Barbecue is a veteran owned business. They donate all of their proceeds to charity. I didn't say 50% or 75%. All of the proceeds go to charity, and they make some absolutely bananas small batch freaking dry rubs. That was two of them, and I'm just showing you the ones that I have: smoked black cherry,
That sounds cool.
espresso chipotle. These things are absolutely amazing. Jesus, the camera's pissing me off. There's their information right there. Badcompanybbq.com. Join us on Instagram and Facebook. They are on the Instagrams. Look them up. And don't forget that they offer a 10% discount for listeners of the Weekly Pour podcast. And that's on all of your seasonings. And I think it was stickers. 10% off. Like I said, all the proceeds are going to charity, so you're not doing a bad thing by supporting Jason. Yeah, a friend of mine. Oh wait, there's one more. See, anybody even notice the product placement? So Baja Beach Blend. This one here, I'm just gonna throw this out there real quick. This one here, this is the butter garlic herb.
Well, that sounds good already.
So I'm gonna tell you, it is almost what I would consider um the allspice of spices, because I can put that one on absolutely anything. Just the other day, the wife asked what I was doing, and I said I'm getting ready to put it on my eggs, and she looked at me like you're just stupid. So I did it anyway, and that stuff was freaking good on my eggs. Anyway, check them out. Bad Company Barbecue, badcompanybbq.com on the web. Bad Company Barbecue on Facebook, Bad Company Barbecue on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, don't forget to follow us. We are also on Instagram at the Weekly Pour Podcast. We're trying to build our followers, and our followers are our listeners. So we want you on there as well. And of always, don't forget to email us, the weekly pour podcast at gmail.com. Email myself, email Ace, email any special guest, email us who you think we should have as a special guest, Dustin Rhodes. And let us know if you want to be a special guest. Let us know. Basically, let us know what you're going to talk about. Because if you're just going to come on here and talk about barbecue rub, it better be from these guys. Because if it's not, I don't want to hear it. But email us, get in touch with us. Tell us what you want. Um, the last thing I have, um, this is it. This is the very last thing. See, this is what happens when you get me drinking during the actual episode. The last thing I want to know, this is my only question, and you can answer it or you can take us out and we'll be finished after your goodbye dialogue. Whatever happened to Hoobastank?
Exactly. Whatever happened to them? I have a Hoobastank record. I have one. It was good.
Yeah,
Had the reason on it.
right. But what's the reason?
I I don't know. What's the reason that they're not around, or are they? They probably are. Everyone is.
I don't know. But look, that's my notes. What happened to Hoobastank?
Anyone that knows, email us. If you
Please,
know what happened to Hoobastank, let us know.
we want to know. I'm really. What happened to Hoobastank? I don't know.